We have to have money to make this choir work. And that's why we need committees. And we need proposals so that people that might want to donate can donate. And we need to have a fundraising something. This young lady, she's in the choir. I shouldn't say too much about her because she's in the choir. But I will say, she's a genius.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that was coming.
She's a genius. He's giving her hand. She's got a great heart, and she loves me.
I do.
That makes it really good. And so she wants to help the choir any way that she can help the choir succeed and spread the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the world. My hometown is Flint, Michigan. I don't know if you've heard about the water crisis in Flint. Kids are dying. Their brain is being deteriorating because of the water, the lead in the water. And it's a devastated community. I mean, it looks like a war zone. It's really. Because there has not been industry there for at least 40 years. People have not worked. So, I mean, it's kids are living in abandoned buildings. But I'm here today servicing you because of Flint. Because when I was a kid, Flint was booming. And Flint made me who I am. And now it's time for me to get back to my hometown. And then as we help communities like Flint, we'll start with Flint, LA, Atlanta, Chicago, from city to city, helping people through the tracking, that like we do in tracking, so that they can see their way clear and believe that they can do anything they put their minds to. Okay? So get rid of negative emotion. And then putting them in a choir so they can sing and reinforce that which they know to be true. And then they can be an asset. They can be an asset to their community instead of a liability.
About a month ago, Deborah Bonner came to me and she said to me, I want you to be my business partner. And I was honored that she would ask me to do that because I got to know her a little bit and knew what her goals were and dreams were, and I was so impressed with all the things she's been wanting to do. When she asked me to be her business partner, I was just like blown away. So I said, oh, I'm so honored. Yes, and what would you like for me to help you do? And she said, I want you to help me help the people of Flint, Michigan. I want you to help me find money for them. I want you to help me figure out how we can help them with the water situation. And I said, Deborah, I want to help you, but I need to be honest with you. I don't know anything about Flint, Michigan. I don't know how I could help, but I'm sure there'll be a way, and I'm just honored that you would ask. I'll take the position. We'll be business partners. And she just was calm. It didn't matter that I didn't know. It was like she knew it would all work out. Well, a week ago, just something happened and in my life, and something in my gut said to call a man that I really, really respect, who I've met in the past, named Dr. Pedersen. He's the man sitting right here. And I happened to call him and just kind of tell him what was going on in my life. What are you up to? And he said, you know, I'm so happy you called me, Serena. I've been thinking about you, and I was hoping you'd call. This is what I'm doing. I'm actually, well, he's a scientist. You'll know all about him. He's just an amazing doctor with many, many degrees and an inventor. He's in a program that deals with clean water and having healthy, alkaline, pH-balanced water that's completely pure and living. And I thought, oh, wow. And it's also in a business form so that you can make money as you share that. And so I thought, wow, I want to let Deborah know about this. Maybe this is something that could help the people of Flint. It's water and it's industry. So, and it's products that help your body. So I said, Deborah, I'd like you to meet Dr. Pedersen. She said, absolutely. introduced her to Dr. Pedersen, and Dr. Pedersen also has a big heart and is a genius, just like Deborah Bonner, and they hit it off right away. And her goal is to help the people of Flint by finding different great people in the world who have talents, who can really help, and Dr. Pedersen's one of them. So we just wanted to share with you the products that that Deborah Bonner really feels will help Flint.
The purpose of the choir is to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. And spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, we don't just sing about the Savior. We got to do something too, to help our brothers and sisters all over the world. And we need to start in our own backyard. This, I believe, is a way that we can raise money for the choir by sharing the products. I said, you are our man, period. You're our man. So we'll be building these choirs, transforming lives as they learn about the Savior and able to share with others and help their communities. Can you talk to us about who you are first, some things that you've done?
I'm a child of God who knows that more and more every time I got another medical degree. And at the end of 4 medical degrees, I realized that the human body will heal itself because of God's tools, not because of man's surgery and man's drugs. Because of that, I look for the most natural things that can help as often as possible. So I'm a naturopathic doctor. I have a PhD in drug research. I'm also a traditional medical doctor with specialties in anti-aging medicine and wound care, where I work with the military and special forces medicine. So I've learned a lot about people. I've learned a lot about the soul and the spirit and the body. And I've learned a lot about the healing process must include the spirit as well as the body. And the place that I see it most is in people who have the gift of charity. And we say, oh, he's got a great heart and a great spirit and a great... Well, these people all do. And it's the resonant frequency I got from them that told me in my heart that there's a special spirit here. And I can tell you that I love the people of Flint, Michigan, and I'm going to give my talents and what I have learned about the human body specifically for your good. I'm inspired by Deborah Bonner. I'm inspired by your vision. She came to me and she says, I have a vision, and we're going to change these people both physically and emotionally, and we're going to sing, and we're going to give them purpose in life. And she painted a picture that was far beyond words, but I felt it right here. So when I went home and I prayed, I realized that I have some talents to give as well, and I hope that that my little piece of the pie will make beautiful music, even though I don't sing. So we have the tools to make it better, and that's the first thing. Is I want everyone in Flint, Michigan to know that you should be confident that this can be fixed, and in the meantime, they can take control of their own destiny with the proper water purifier. And this device fits in your refrigerator, and I'll pull it out and we'll show it to everybody a little bit later. But it fits in your refrigerator, and first of all, it filters the water. So it's got a ceramic filter that helps take out the heavy metals like lead, which is the #1 problem. The children accumulate lead in their brain, and it destroys their thinking, their function, their personality. So the first thing is we take out the problem, the heavy metals. Then we purify it with carbon. And carbon filtering takes out the odors and takes out a lot of the other problems that would be in there. Then as it's running through the same, in one unit, the same unit, actually will give the proper ionic charge to water. And ionic charges are important because that's how we transfer energy. And purely distilled water hasn't got enough minerals or ionic charge in it that it can't even conduct electricity. So we have to put ionic and mineral, and we have to make it pure, and we have to make it clean, and we have to make it alkaline. And that's the #1 thing that this filter does, is makes it alkaline. And your body functions at an alkaline 7.3 pH. And if you become acidic, germs grow and flourish. It's that simple. Bacteria, viruses, yeast, cancers, they all grow in an acidic system. So what happens is by drinking alkaline water, we're giving your body the ability to make your temple, your environment, your water system alkaline. And if that's the case, 99% of all molecular function in your body is assisted with water, you're going to be in an environment, 99.9% of your body, that won't want to allow bacteria, viruses, or yeast. For that reason, we need to get back to a clean water, a pure water, an alkaline water. Flint, Michigan doesn't have that. Imagine taking a pitcher, putting in tap water, even if it's got problems, and letting your own product filter out all the problems, give you living water as well, having it in your fridge. Now you can take control of your own health and wellness in the cleansing state.
I want you to know, too, while he's checking this out, what have you done in Africa? Can you tell us a little bit about Africa before we even talk about this? I want you to say what.
About a decade ago, I just had a dream that came to me over and over and over and over. And it was on safari. And I knew exactly where when I saw it in pictures. And I decided that I would go and try to find a medical solution to the number one problem our children were dying from, which was malaria. And I learned when I learned that more children die by age 5 than survive in Africa, I says that's not tolerable. And so over I went and I said, I don't know if I'm going to solve this, but I'm going to give it everything I have. And I worked with malaria, and specifically children, specifically in the orphanages. And once we got to a part where we had discovered and developed a cure for malaria, I was then inspired to make sure we gave it to the right people to continue to manufacture the product. And it's the orphans. They haven't a place to live. They haven't a purpose in life. They don't get education. And we turned all 3 of those things around in 3 months. They learned to read. They learned to do medical science. They learned to produce a product. And this product actually cured their malaria that they used for their own selves, and 50% of it they sold to the rest of the city. They now build their own block buildings and have homes. They have a business. They have education. And so not only did we cure malaria, we taught the people how to make and manufacture their own solution. And so when I arrived, it broke my heart, and it's hard to even talk about. That many children every morning in body bags. And within a month, that stopped. And we stopped malaria, and we let the people learn how to do it for themselves. Anyways, that one's...
So, and that's what I'd love to see happen in Flint.
I think it can.
If we could, because they need industry there too.
They do.
We need to treat a lot of our cities just like we do when we go to Africa, and build industries that will help them build their cities.
100% of all support's gone to Africa. 100% of all of our efforts have gone to Africa. And to this day, I may not have a penny in my bank account because of it, but I'm the richest man in the world every month when 17 different places call me every month and say, we treated 125 and 125 are well. Every month that happens.
I actually have a Kangen machine, so I actually alkaline and filter my water bill. It's $4,000.
Yeah, $4,000. Imagine if we can do a similar thing now. I'm just going to take this apart and hand it to you. That's the lid, and it's a specialized lid that only lets water in. Then we have a filter. Inside the filter, we pour water. It goes through a gravity flow. The filter makes water come out, and this water will be treated. It will be ionic, it will have magnetics, it will be alkaline, it will be the water they need. And as it drains in here and you leave it in your fridge, all you do is take it out, fill up a glass, put it back in, and you can put even tap water back in here, and this filter and this process will work similarly to the Kangen water system, but leave a living water at a much cheaper price.
Yeah.
Your system costs $4,000.
Right.
How much is that if someone were to purchase it?
About $125 is what a unit costs at full retail price, but my company loves your dream and your vision so much that I don't think there's any possible way we're going to charge full price for your vision. And so the price is going to come down, and I just haven't got commitment to what it is. But if you'll accept our gift to keep the price as low as possible so that we are donating in our way, we would love to do so. But this is a retail price, is about $125 a unit, and I'm sure we're going to have the ability to share on your behalf. Thank you for the opportunity.
No, thank you.
And the people of Flint, Michigan are going to have the opportunity to actually sell this. And they'll be able to have business out of their own home, out of their own organizations, within their choirs, where not only this, but numerous other nutritional type products that help with wellness, health, that they need in their area. If they choose, they will have the opportunity to build out of that situation, much like we did with Africa, where if they chose, they could learn to deal with the solution to malaria. If they'd like, there's an opportunity to build business out of the solution for the water in Flint, Michigan.
Wow. So basically your motto is you can give a fish to a person, or you can teach them how to fish. You can feed them for a day, or you can teach them how to fish, and then they're feeding themselves.
Well, I think she's got more wisdom on that topic, and I'd really love to hear what you've told me about that fishing, that they actually need a little more help than just fishing. She says to me, the people of Flint, Michigan have been put down and they're in shock. And they need more than just a fishing pole and some bait. They need to actually have help starting do it for them. And that's why the choir is going to get out there and help them remember the atonement, remember Christ, remember who they are, help them out of the shock. And by donating enough of these units to enough people, it might be enough that then they're in a position to start learning to fish. Or in other words, those who choose, and it won't be everybody, but if even a small minority wants to do this, it will change hope. It will change action, and faith is an action. So I learned that from you, that yes, it's not enough to just believe and want to send help to Flint, Michigan. We have to get in and maybe do it for them for a little bit of time until they see the desire to do it for themselves. Is that close?
Yes. So, and I think the way I said it was, you know, sometimes when people are hungry and they're starving, they can't hear, well, you need to get a job, you need to work. They can't hear that yet. You need to feed them first.
Yes, ma'am.
They need to be fed. Sometimes you need to give something first. Just give it to them. And then as they become healthier and see the vision, then you can teach them how to fish. You know? So whether it be with water or some of the other products that you have, like your fruits and vegetables. Can you tell us about that? Because right now we have kids in Flint who are growing crops. And so I would love to see them build this for the world in Flint.
Yeah.
I would love to see them.
And they could easily be our poster children for that very purpose, and how well it cleanses the system. There's three major purposes here. We want to in the wellness process. Number one, we've got to reject that which is in our environment that hurts us. Poisons and pollution and even electromagnetic frequencies. Then we've got to cleanse the system. We've got to wash out what's accumulated. And then in the wellness process, we've got to replace what the body needs to regenerate itself. And that's going to be God's tools. None of us have a penicillin deficiency, But many of us are deficient in having fruits and vegetables in a clean, pure, non-polluted state. For that reason, we've developed a nutritional supplement that isn't made from coal tar and isn't made in a laboratory somewhere. We actually take the seeds and we take the plants and the leaves and the herbs and grind them into a powder, and we put the living probiotics in there and keep the living digestive enzymes and the living antioxidants, so that what God put into the plant is now going to be given to the person. That would be one of the other products. And we call it live for the very reason that it is alive. And so we've got water, we've got living food, whole food nutrition. We've even got the ability to help reduce pain in an all-natural form, reduce inflammation. All of these things by choice. Those who have ears to hear.
That causes cancer, right? The inflammation?
Inflammation causes just about everything. When you get right down to it, the reason that we have pain is from inflammation. The reason that we have disease is inflamed tissues almost everywhere. So you're right. Yeah.
Wow, incredible. What a great mission, huh? What a great mission.
And you know, you told me the other day some of the things that, or boards that you've been on, and can you tell us just a little bit more about you so they know who you are, that you are really the real deal?
Those who want to check up on me, if you look on the web for Silver Health Institute malaria, you'll see the actual publication on malaria. And I've studied in many, many different places and been on several boards, but the biggest thing that matters to me and what makes me happiest is when I can help somebody else either be happy or find a way that they can heal themselves. In fact, just yesterday I was working with a patient, and he came in and he had chronic fatigue, and he was only 22 years old. And his parents said, "Is it parasites? Is it this? Is it this?" And they just kept diagnosing for him and going on and on and on and on, and you've got to turn off the computer and you've got to get off the cell phone and you've got to, and he sat there and he just absorbed this with such dignity that they looked at me and they said, "So, don't you agree? What should he do? All that stuff?" And I looked at her and I says, "He's 22, he's his own doctor. I'm a counselor, you're counselors, what would you do?" And from that minute on, he started writing down what he would do. And it's the same approach I think we have with Flint, Michigan, or with our own families. You can't tell somebody to get well. I know, I've tried. But there's a reason that we try to make people get well, but they choose to get well. When I was doing my cardiovascular internship, I was at the University of Utah. And people would come in and they had absolutely nothing wrong. A little teeny bit of an irregular heartbeat, and they got it in their minds, "That's it, my heart is shot, I can't possibly live." And they would skip rehab and they wouldn't take their medications, and sure enough, in a very short period of time, they wound down and died. And we looked at each other as doctors and went, there's no way that person should have died. And yet, right in the next room, there'd be a person. There's no way that person should live with all the problems their heart has, with all the degeneration, with the irregular heartbeats, with all... And you know what? They had this attitude. And they had family. And they had people in there. We had to throw them out at night because they're in there happy. They'd receive blessings and prayers. And they lived and they survived. And years later, we just shook our heads and said, there's much more to this healing process than just pills and surgery. And in my naturopathic practice, people come to me and the first thing I do is tell them, you're the doctor, we're counselors. So the people of Flint, Michigan, you've just been upgraded to doctor. We want you to treat yourself. And if it's your choice, this is the first choice we're giving you the opportunity to have. And then, when you know about this, then let's talk about a business opportunity and let's see how we can make well financial worlds as well as physical worlds.